Hello, everybody, and welcome. Today, we're going to be talking about personal injury marketing ideas to grow your law firm and attract more of those high value cases. So, starting off at number one here, this is where all marketing needs to start, and that's optimizing your messaging on your website. The biggest thing that we see is that if you are in Los Angeles, for example, your website's optimized for Los Angeles personal injury attorney. And probably if you're taking this route, doing the same thing that everybody else is doing in your market. And what I mean by that is you might say, hey, look, we have a 99% success rate. We've recovered $1 billion or whatever those points are. The point is, everybody is doing that. There is no way to stand out when you do that. And there's no way to really get that client empathy. So instead of having like Los Angeles personal injury lawyer, 99% success rate, think about really coming down to your client's level. Were you injured in a Los Angeles car accident? We guide you through every step to get you the compensation you deserve. Stress-free help when you need it most. That approach is more of a story brand driven message, and that's something that we encourage our clients to do. What that is it's like a 7-point process, right? Number one, framing your client as the hero. Most law firms make the mistake of saying, look, I'm the hero, look at me. Nobody likes to have people talk about themselves, right? Like everybody will do that all day long. I'm happy to tell you how great and awesome I am. What you need to do is you need to frame the client as the hero. And so your website should immediately speak to the client's experience instead of boasting about your firm's accolades or awards. Address the client's pain points specifically. 2, it has a story brand framework, has a clear problem statement. So what we try to do when we're working with clients to develop their story brand is we need to articulate the external, internal, and philosophical problems that your clients are facing. So, for example, injured in an accident, you're likely facing medical bills. So that'll be the external. You're probably feeling overwhelmed, internal, and believe it's unfair that you should suffer due to someone else's negligence. And so that's the philosophical problem statement there. And after you've identified that, you then position your firm as the guide. So you want to show your empathy and authority, and you really want to demonstrate that you know what they're going through and that you have the expertise that they need to get the best result. And then what you do is you guide that into a clear plan. So usually that's 3 or 4 steps, and you say, outline those steps, what it's going to take to work with your firm. And this really reduces that uncertainty because your clients have likely never hired an attorney before. So when you empower them and give them this clear path forward, they know what to expect and they know what action to take. And that relates to number 5, which is clear calls to action. So typically we are going to do 2 calls to action. One is that action-oriented language that prompts potential clients to take the next step in their journey. But 2, they could be in this informational research phase, right? Like they're still top or middle of funnel. They haven't decided to hire an attorney. So then you might provide a resource, like a guide to download so that they can really learn about everything that happens during a car accident case. And then you need to tie it to the emotional stakes. Number 6, clearly communicate the risks of not seeking legal help, such as missing out on compensation or not being able to work the rest of your life if it's a serious injury. And then finally, point number 7, you really want to paint a picture of success, okay? You want to use testimonials, you want to use case studies, but that's the thing, you need your previous clients to tell that story. Because again, I can tell you how good I am, but it's never going to be as powerful as your clients speaking to your potential clients. Basically, before anything else, the first tip I have is optimize all of your firm's marketing and website with client-focused messaging. And after you've gone through an example, let's say that you choose to do the story brand framework, we'll walk you through that, we'll set that up. Then you can use that not only for your website, but again, your print, your billboard, whatever. You want to continue that message across, and you're going to start seeing better results from the marketing you're already doing. Number 2, get involved in the community. Community involvement is more than just good PR. It's really about building a genuine connections and trust with the people that you serve. So some of the ways that attorneys do that, and one of the reasons that I love to work with personal injury attorneys, is they give back to their community more than really any other company I've ever worked with. When I got into digital marketing, I was working with all sorts of different clients, and then we really niched down like 15 years ago and said, hey, look, we're only going to be working with attorneys. And one of the things that we saw time and time again is they're the ones that sponsor local events. They're the ones that sponsor charity drives. They offer pro bono services or host educational websites. Like I work with a client, for example, GJEL Accident Attorneys in Northern California, and every year they do free cab ride campaigns where they're paying for people to take an Uber or a Lyft if they've had something to drink instead of driving. And what that does is it builds a lot of community goodwill. It builds people talking about the firm, which has a huge marketing benefit, that top of mind awareness, but also they're helping the community. They're helping people in need. There's hundreds of examples that I could say for them, but just one example. Number 3, short form video series. Now this is obviously a very long video. I'm talking about a lot of different points in this video, but we are also going to break this up into shorter videos. So one of the best things that I see, whether you're using TikTok or YouTube Shorts or Instagram Reels, is creating short questions that are answering people's pain points, okay? Creating those videos is a great way to get in front of your audience and build a following and show your expertise so that people want to hire you versus the attorney down the road. Number 4, build relationships with local referral partners. So there's different ways to do this, but at the end of the day, you're growing a firm and you know how important referrals are. Referrals should always be a part of your business. If you're ever just relying on SEO or paid ads or whatever to build your firm, you will have a problem when Google has an update or this changes or the costs get too high or whatever. You want to have a diversified marketing platform for your firm. And one of the things you should never ignore are referrals. Why? Well, it's pretty self-explanatory, but number 1, if somebody refers me to you, you are so much more likely to close that or sign that case, right? They're going to talk to you. They're already going to have that trust. It came from a trusted source. Great. So you can do that with local businesses. So whether that's other attorneys for those referral arrangements, or you can focus on medical professionals in your field, whatever that is. Maybe you're working with auto repair shops, things like that. But offer value in return. Really figure out how you can have a mutually beneficial relationship with whatever referral partners you choose. Number 5, ask for reviews from every client in every interaction. Reviews are like a great thing, not only from a local ranking perspective, like for your Google business profile that can actually increase your visibility. It's a consumer trust signal too. People are going to take a look at the reviews and what people are saying about your firm or the specific attorney before they hire you or at some point in that journey. So the big mistake that I see firms and people make is that they're not asking everybody. They're thinking, hey, I'm going to wait until I deliver this check to ask for that review. But really you should be asking anytime there's a win in a case, even if it's something small. If you sense that excitement, that's the perfect time to ask. You don't need to wait for the case to be concluded. Additionally, a lot of firms, when people call up, if you're helpful, even if you can't help them, you can always ask for a review as well. Let's say that they called about an employment or a divorce or another case that you don't handle. You can say, you know what, we don't handle that, but I can help you with somebody who I know is great in this field, and this is why, blah, blah, blah. Help them out, give them some steps, give them that information, and just say, hey, was this helpful? Would you mind leaving us a review if you found that helpful? Every interaction you have with any potential client is a potential to get reviews and incentivize your staff to do that. The best approach is the firms that are most successful with this build this into their core systems. And that's something that we encourage our partners at Juris Digital to go through to make sure that they're getting the most out of all of their digital marketing investments. Number 6, host a live event. So LinkedIn makes it easy. There's webinars. There's a lot of different platforms to do that, Zoom. But being able to get your ideal clients in an event is just a great way to build leads, build community goodwill and trust. So it could be over a safety issue that's very publicly noted in your community, and you could host an event to discuss it with what other people think and just kind of host that discussion. You can share valuable knowledge, and you can also do this in person as well. Number 7, I have retargeting ads. And retargeting ads are a little bit more limited than they were a few years ago, but that's basically another mistake that a lot of PI attorneys make, is that when people come to your website, if they don't contact you, you kind of never talk to them again or never have a way of getting back in front of them. While there are more limitations now than there were previously, there is still a level of remarketing that you can do to follow visitors across the web, to get them engaged, to have them come back and contact you even if they didn't contact you the first time. You know, if you listen or watch a lot of my videos, you'll probably understand that one of the things that I'm a big fan of is always being top of mind with clients. And what that means is every lead you get, you need to now be in front of them forever. So whether that's your email newsletter or another method that you choose, you need to have top of mind awareness, because otherwise what you're doing is people are visiting your website, they're not contacting you, and then you're going to do the same thing next month. And you're not building a system that's going to work for you. This is a real business that you're building, and ultimately your goal is probably to sell it or move it on. But either way, it has to be systemized to run the best way that it can. And now, just in the age of AI and tech, it's easier than ever. Next, let's talk about speaking at local bar associations. If you're able to go to a local bar association and speak, you can really build referral opportunities. Number 10, have you ever been to an attorney's website and seen major awards? Like maybe it's Super Lawyers, maybe it's Martindale AV rated, maybe it's the Avo 10, whatever it is. We probably know that a lot of these awards are junk, but unfortunately your consumers don't, your clients don't. They see those and they might see them as trust signals. They don't know that the Newsweek Top 10 Personal Injury Attorneys is a paid placement. It's not that clear. So you have to pitch for these. You got to submit to these awards, and you should do them. You should stay in front of people, and you should leverage those in your marketing. And that all comes back to creating a marketing plan for your personal injury firm, because 9 out of 10 personal injury attorneys I speak with don't have a plan, and what they have is a case goal. And so we work that backwards, and we say, okay, well, you're looking to sign 10 new high-value cases a month, serious injury cases, whatever that is. And then we create that plan behind it from the digital marketing aspect. But overall, you are running a business that, again, you might want to sell, or you might want to pass on to future generations. You want to build something worth a lot of value, and that comes down to systems. And those systems are going to come around a plan, right? What's your hypothesis? What do we need to reach? How are we going to implement that? And let's work at it. And the thing with that, too, is you need to give it time to work. People also expect marketing to work overnight. When in reality, when you see these Morgan & Morgan and these other big firms, Larry H. Parker, whoever it is, they have been investing for years, and they've just been going at it. And that consistency over time is what got them where they are. They actually did the investment, and they realized that they needed to invest to get there. So local business partnerships is something that I briefly touched on, like auto body shops and things like that. But make sure that, the caveat there is make sure that it's okay to do, obviously, with your bar rules wherever you're located. Number 14, claim your Google business profile. That used to be called your Google Places. Anyway, it's gone through a lot of different names, but it's still free. And that's what gets you listed on Google Maps. It's what gets you listed in local search results. So if I'm typing personal injury attorney or car accident attorney, you can show up for free just by claiming your business profile and optimizing that. If you're in a competitive market, you need to do more things like links, citations, and content. But for smaller markets, it's a little bit easier to rank just with reviews. So number 15, don't ignore search engine marketing. And actually don't do search engine marketing wrong. And what I mean by that is I'm talking about ads, right? There's 2 types of ads. We have local services ads, which are a pay-per-lead, and then you have just traditional pay-per-click ads through Google or Bing. Also, don't ignore Bing. But with that, you need to enter that with the proper investment, but also realize that it should take like 90 days for the algorithm to really kind of learn and adapt, and you should really commit to that budget for a long term and then reverse those and take a look at those results. I think the biggest problem I see with ads, and the reason that I'm saying this, is people are like, they're going to get in for 1 month. Oh, I blew my budget. I didn't get anything. And then if they would have just stuck with it by month 3 or month 6, they're really seeing, hey, this is really worth it. It will always be one of the legs on my marketing stool, and stick with it. So video marketing is another one that you can do. You can make long form videos like this. We already talked about the short form videos. I would definitely do it in a presentation format so people know what you're talking about and it's easy to digest. Attend networking events, try public speaking, write helpful content on personal injury issues. There's a lot of different ways to get your firm out there. And I think that's the biggest problem here that I'm trying to tackle in this video. Is the problem is not that there's not creative ways to get leads. It's that you need to focus on 2 or 3 of these things and do them well and make sure the results match your expectations. So we could keep going, talking about all these ideas, but this is an issue that I see, and I think that what you need to do is really figure out where you're heading and how you're going to get there, and reverse engineer that.